Welcome everybody to How Fast Will It Go, and today we're dealing with the 1987 Mercedes-Benz AMG Hammer Coupé. Now it says 1,371 horsepower, 1,125 pounds-feet of torque from a 7.2 litre twin turbocharged V12 engine. The car itself now weighs 3,168 pounds, now has all-wheel drive, and it can do 0 to 60 in 2.242 seconds and 0 to 100 in 4.226 seconds. So yeah, far faster than it was in stock form, which is inevitable when you're dealing with more than 3 or 4 times the power it had originally. And yeah, it's got a hell of a lot of power and torque, even though it does still weigh a fair old amount, and obviously it's quite a large car still, so hopefully it won't be too much of an issue to weave in and out of traffic. But yeah, that all-wheel drive system is going to help this car deal with the power, and yeah, being an older car, its gearbox is more forgiving for top speed, because as we have seen numerous amounts of times on this series, newer cars with more complicated gearboxes and more gears than 6 gears are usually not the best in terms of top speed, or at least in terms of getting there. So yeah, nonetheless, let's get out onto the open road and see what this car can do. I guess you could see this as being an older version of a more modern Mercedes-Benz Coupé with a V12 engine. Though obviously it's got a far more high revving engine and is certainly far more quicker than those versions. There's 250, 260, 270 coming out of the tunnel. Oh dear, we're in a bit of a jam there. We need to go left immediately after this car. Go 273, 274, 275. This beast of a car has managed 275, which is mightily impressive, but we've crashed into a bush and a barrier and we can't get past it. But yeah, 275 mile an hour is ludicrous for not only for a car of this age, but obviously of size and weight. And yeah, comfortably puts it into the top 10, if not even the top 5. Let's see if we can get any more out of this. Yeah, I'm really surprised about how quick it actually is, because obviously it still weighs a fair old amount. It's not the most aerodynamic of vehicles either. And you compare it to the other vehicles that have been taken out in this series, and yeah, a lot more of them do look a lot more like the kind of car that would be able to go quick, whereas this doesn't. Still, on the whole, looks like just an average, ordinary road car. So yeah, mightily impressive to get up to 275. Which does beg the question, how fast is the car that has this engine in it originally? So it's from the CLK GTR. Well, I think it's called that, but it's basically a road-going version of a race car that Mercedes-Benz made in the late 90s. So yeah, definitely going to try that out. Definitely going to try that out at some point. Let's see if we can get any faster on this side of the motorway. It's very rare that we do actually get a quicker top speed on this side. As you can see, we're pretty much virtually matching what we did last time. Only a couple of mile an hour off, so yeah, this car is fairly consistent at least. And to be honest, despite a hint of understeer, it's handling fairly well as well, considering its weight and the vast amount of horsepower and torque that it's dealing with over what it had originally. It still accelerates even up this gradient at that speed, so that's mightily impressive, because as you will well know, if you know your physics, the faster you go in terms of top speed, the harder it is to continue to increase in speed. So to do that and go up a gradient, yeah, that's mightily impressive. I don't think we've ever had a car accelerate at that kind of speed up that gradient before. But nonetheless, there we go, 275 miles an hour in a car that doesn't stop. Because this car does not have the brakes, which is a bit of a shame. But that is still relentlessly quick, and its attempts at gaining speed while at that, even at 260 miles an hour, were really rather impressive. So that means it matches a McLaren F1 GT. It beats a Toyota Supra RZ, a Lamborghini Aventador, a McLaren P1, a Ferrari 599XX Evolution, a Porsche 906 Carrera S6 and a Toyota GT86, and it's only 1 mile an hour behind the Rousion Q1, 6 mile an hour behind the McLaren F1, and 10 mile an hour behind the Jaguar D-Type, just showing how quick that Jag really was. But in all honesty, this is a far better handling car than that Jaguar, and feels a lot less like a glass cannon, because that Jaguar got to that kind of top speed and then really was struggling to ever get close to it again, whereas this, as you saw on this side of the motorway, managed to get within 2 mile an hour of us being at our fastest speed. So yeah, really impressed by this, and yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the car that shares this engine with originally. Like I said, that Mercedes road-going race car from the late 90s has this engine, and yeah, that car is inevitably going to be lighter and better in terms of aerodynamics. So yeah, looking forward to seeing if that's going to be any faster than this, and if it isn't, then that just shows how impressive this car really is in general. So yeah, really good car. You unfortunately can't get it anymore because it was in the previous week's festival playlist, but it might be on the auction house and it might well come up again on future festival playlists, and I hope it does, because it's a cracking car in stock form, and clearly a car that is versatile in terms of what it can do as well when it comes to upgrades. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.